Welcome to State Television Company Western Armenia broadcast for today. Zoom meeting of the National Assembly of Western Armenia. Activities of the Union of Indigenous Armenian Communities of Artsakh. The issue of Western Armenia and the role of Armenian communities. Armenag Aprahamian. The speech of President of the Republic of Western Armenia, Ms. Lydia Margossian, during the plenary sitting of the third session of the third Convocation of the National Assembly. The speech of the Speaker of the Government of Western Armenia. Baku destroys the multi-storey residential buildings of occupied Stepanakert. Not a single Armenian-speaking gravestone has reached our days. Let's support the State Television Company Western Armenia. On 28 December, the National Assembly of Western Armenia organized a Zoom meeting. It took place in Yerevan at the Representative Office of Western Armenia. The meeting was dedicated to the activities of the Union of Indigenous Armenian Communities of Artsakh and the discussion of its future plans. The meeting was attended by the President of the National Council of Western Armenia, Mr. Armenag Aprahamian, the Chairwoman of the National Assembly of the Republic of Western Armenia, Ms. Sahakyan, the President of the Patriotic Union of Shushi, Sahakyan, the Director of the Kachar Scientific Center, historian, associate professor Maher Hayatsunyan, Valera Karapetyan, chairman of the Armenian Office of the Artsakh Salvation Movement, Artsakh, deputy of the first Convocation of the National Assembly of the Republic of Artsakh, and other prominent figures. During the meeting, the participants discussed organizational issues of the union's activities. They also planned their further steps. Each initiative group undertook the implementation of certain responsibilities through which the formation and consolidation of communities will be promoted. The participants emphasized the regular organization of meetings to solve existing problems and discuss new initiatives. The main goal is to unite all the 350 communities to ensure their effective operation and the use of their potential for Artsakh and Western Armenia. The meeting ended with suggestions on deepening cooperation and planning for further concept steps on cooperation. Future initiatives will contribute to the strengthening of the positions of the indigenous communities of Artsakh and the realization of joint goals. The issue of Western Armenia and the role of Armenian communities. President Armenag Aprahamian. In 2024 on 17 December in Geneva, the 20th anniversary of the establishment of the National Council of Western Armenia was celebrated. The President of the National Council of Western Armenia, Mr. Armenag Aprahamian, made a speech during the meeting. He emphasized that the issue of Western Armenia requires unity and attention from Armenians around the world. Mr. Armenag Aprahamian emphasized that the awareness of Armenian communities and overcoming the process of assimilation are important for the preservation of culture and identity. He emphasized that the need for reculturation to revolve the Armenian heritage. According to President, Armenians living in different countries often participate in the annual event of April 24, commemorating the genocide committed against Armenians. However, the question arises whether these initiatives are sufficient to create national unity and take concrete steps in the issue of Western Armenia. To keep national interest, it is important to keep memory, also it take active actions. President Armenag Aprahamian emphasized that the restoration of Western Armenia will be possible only if the Armenian communities re-evaluate their role. They should be more active in the preservation of culture and identity. The restoration of memory, identity and cultural heritage is an important basis for our future. The speech of President of the Republic of Western Armenia, Ms. Lydia Margossian, during the plenary sitting of the third session of the third Convocation of the National Assembly. At the plenary sitting of the third session of the third Convocation of the National Assembly, the President of the Republic of Western Armenia, Ms. Lydia Margossian, spoke about the historical foundations of our people's struggle and the importance of national identity. We have a continuous struggle and have a memory. We are obliged to preserve it. We have to pass on our history to our generation, and we cannot allow our territories to be divided or our rights to be ignored. History is an inheritance that we received from our parents. The President emphasized the struggle requires unity and national self-awareness. We cannot forget our losses as well as our responsibility in protecting our rights. We should continue to act and face new challenges. President Margossian emphasized that the restoration of Western Armenia is through the preservation of unity and identity. She mentioned, our people should believe in their own strength and constantly strive to advance national ideas. The President of the Republic of Western Armenia, Ms. Lydia Margossian, concluded her speech with a call to unite all efforts for the protection of our historical territories and national interests. On 29 December, the Speaker of the Government of the Republic of Western Armenia gave a speech on the national television of Western Armenia. She referred to the speech of President Mr. Armenag Aprahamian. Mr. President explained in detail and meaningfully how to face the challenges of the strategic and cultural heritage of the Armenian issue. He underlined his point of view for the restoration of the rights of Western Armenia and the Armenian people. Mr. President addressed in detail the problem that arose as a result of violations of the rights of the Armenian people. He emphasized that Western Armenia is an exclusive territory that has been officially recognized as a state, including by the United States of America. President Armenag Aprahamian emphasized the Treaty of Sevres and said that this historical document was signed and ratified by the Ottoman Empire, according to the laws of the Ottoman Constitution. Armenag Aprahamian drew special attention to the fact that the Treaty of Sevres is the only international document that clearly defines the state borders between Armenia and Turkey, based on the arbitration decision of U.S. President Woodrow Wilson. Today, this border remains the only internationally recognized border, which is important especially in the context of current regional realities, President Armenag Aprahamian emphasized in his speech. Baku continues its criminal policy. They are eliminating the traces of the long-term presence of the Armenian people in the occupied territories. In recent days, the BANQUE initiative informed that the Azerbaijani authorities are engaged in the systematic destruction of multi-storey residential buildings in Stepanakert. The destruction of residential buildings in Stepanakert is not only the destruction of physical structures, but also a blow to the memory and identity of the Armenian people. Therefore, these events require an adequate international response and the united and consistent efforts of the Armenian people to restore justice. An Armenian tombstone found in Altedonru province of Ordu was taken under protection. According to Agunk.net, the website of the Polish Armenian Agos Weekly reports about it. According to the source of Agos Weekly, the tombstone taken under protection at the initiative of Guven Bayar, known for his studies on the topics of the non-Muslim population of Ordu. The tombstone is dated 1901 on 22 December. Western Armenian television, being faithful to its principles and viewers, continues its uninterrupted work with new approaches. As you already know, our television does not engage in self-promotion. It mainly broadcasts the present and the future history of Western Armenia with political and other context. Western Armenia television recorded one of its most important achievements by launching the Western Armenia Weekly magazine, which is aimed at preserving and popularizing our history, culture, and identity. We also present the political transition of the President of the Republic of Western Armenia, the government, the National Assembly, and other structures in a transparent and accessible manner. Dear compatriots, with your support, the possibilities of our television will be further expanded and strengthened. We are strong together. Dear viewers, this was all for today. Wish you peace and happiness. We will meet.